Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about the government shutdown. As we all know, the United States Congress, mostly the Senate, has been dealing with the government shutdown over ACA tax credits under the Obamacare Affordable Care Act. You know, the legacy of Obama that was passed in 2010. It has now grown into 42 million people under Obamacare. Excuse me, that was actually 20 million people under Obamacare. 42 million is a SNAP. That's the SNAP benefits, sorry. And for 41 days, the government has been shut down because Democrats are holding the line and trying to make Republicans be held to account. And today, a very, very disappointing event occurred. 8 Senate Democrats caved. They're weak, pathetic, caved to the Republicans after Tuesday's election, after Tuesday's big blue sweep across the country. Democrats decide to cave. And it is very, very, very unfortunate. This is the reason why a lot of people don't trust the Democrats anymore. This is the reason why right now the Democratic Party is at 37, even lower, actually 20%. That's even lower than Donald Trump's 37% disapproval. And it's really unfortunate. I just don't understand. After Tuesday's election, it was obviously a good sign for the Democrats that this government shutdown was working. It's a good sign for Democrats that the American people were on the Democrat side, that they understand that this government shutdown is all the Republicans' fault and why the Democrats were holding the line, because they were trying to save healthcare. Because after this, starting next year, millions of Americans are going to see higher premiums on their healthcare costs. 4 million people will go without insurance. And that involves a lot of people getting sick, either choosing between paying their rent or going to the hospital or going for a checkup because they can't afford their copays, or even insurance because their premiums now are so high because of this crap. And 8 Democrats caved and the government shut down. I think they just voted and it's over. So these are the 8 Democrats that caved. Pathetic. Christo Masto from Nevada, Dick Durbin from Illinois, John Fetterman, remember him, that psychopath from Pennsylvania, Megan Hassan from New Hampshire, Tim Kaine from Virginia, which is very disappointing. I really liked him, and he was actually a contender to be vice president. So shame on him. That's going to affect him if he ever wants to run in the future. And Angus King from Maine, and Jackie Rosen from Nevada, and Jenny Shanning from New Hampshire. Those 8 Democrats caved. They're weak. And their excuse is that there was never going to be a deal in terms of healthcare if the government was still shut down, that the Republicans were never going to cave. Okay, whose fault was it going to be blamed? It was going to be on them. They run the whole fucking Congress. Like, I just don't understand. After the Democratic win sweeps in New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Pennsylvania, California passing the Prop 50 to gain 5 more Democrat seats that the people of California voted for, to go against Trump and the Republicans for cheating in Texas, and yet they still do this crap. This is the reason why a lot of people don't fucking trust the Democratic Party. And this is the reason why a lot of people don't vote anymore, because they start losing trust on this crap. Exactly like this. Exactly why people don't fuck with the Democrats nowadays. They don't vote, or they try to go right. But now how they see that that the Republican Party has been so spineless and bend their knee to Donald Trump and everything Donald Trump has done to the country, they either don't vote. And that's why voting participation has been in record lows. And it's just so sad, unfortunate, because people died for our voting rights. For everyone in this country, no matter who you are, what color, what race, what ethnicity, anything, they fought so we can vote. That's our free right as an American. And it's disgusting. And I'm so pissed. So the government shutdown is about to end. You know, the Senate just voted to pass this, and it's going to pass. And now it goes to the House. You know, that little puppet master, Mike Johnson, that acts like he's Jesus, is heading back to Washington after the Republicans have been on vacation for 8 weeks straight. And that's the thing. The House Republicans have been on vacation for 8 weeks, and yet they decide to do this. It's so crazy. It's so upsetting. The bill would require all the federal employees that were fired by Donald Trump to be rehired again so they can get their job back. It would include, you know, hiring all the TSA agents, air traffic controllers. We kept seeing on the news that, you know, the air traffic controllers and a lot of airports across the country were so bad getting affected. Like there was already over 2,000 flights getting canceled already because the government shutdown just kept prolonging and it was affecting everything. And Trump was threatening to take away SNAP for 42 million people. And he even went so far after the appeals court blocked him and said, no, you have to release those funds to the states to feed people. He even went a step further and went to the Supreme Court. Like, who in the hell does that? That you have an American president wanting people to starve from his own constituents. This is where we are in this country right now when you have an American president that does not care for you. And the fact that we voted him in, not me, but the fact that people voted it for that scumbag, it is a very tragic, tragic time right now in America. I'll tell you that. So it would also restore all crucial services like the SNAP programs for 42 million people. And, you know, now that it's getting cold and Thanksgiving's just around the corner, this is real crucial for them. But at the end of the day, we wanted this fight. You know, we're so tired of Democrats being so weak. After the 2024 election, you know, as a Democrat, I just felt so disappointed in the Democratic Party. I just felt that we didn't do enough. I just felt that, you know, it was a betrayal, that the fact that they would use Kamala Harris or just a weak candidate and to get Trump back in office after everything we did the last 4 years, we had to get this scumbag back in office and all the damage he's done. And it's just like, it's so sad. It's so sad. And one thing that I want to start talking about is that Chuck Schumer, he needs to go. You know, he's the minority leader from New York. He's been in Congress for 43 years. He's been in the Senate for 43 years. And I think his time is done. If these past recent months hasn't been any clear evidence that he's just out of step with the reality of where the Democratic Party is heading. For example, the first misstep that he did is that he voted for the Clean CR back in March. And it was a big, huge backlash against him because that Clean CR would show proof of citizenship before voting in federal elections, and it's bullshit because we all know when we vote, we have to show our IDs no matter where we are. All my three elections that I've been to, I've always had to show ID. That's the law, and it's always been that. So Republicans doing this is just BS, and they're doing the racism against immigrants. And the fact that Chuck Schumer caved and capitulated with the Republicans, it just shows how out of touch and weak he is. And that was the first step. So there was a lot of people calling for his resignation, or at least to step aside as the minority leader and let someone new in, because the Democratic Party has been so tired of having old people in charge. We want young representation. And the perfect example was in New York, in the New York City mayoral race. And Zohran Mamdani, a 34-year-old, he's young, energetic, he's a democratic socialist, and New York hasn't seen one in a long time. And yet people voted for him despite Chuck Schumer not supporting him, despite Chuck Schumer not endorsing him or even campaigning for him, even though that's what New Yorkers wanted and had been begging for a long time, that they want a young, energetic leadership to represent them. And the fact that Chuck Schumer couldn't even at least endorse the Democratic nominee for his state is such a pathetic waste of human being. I'm sorry. And, you know, Hakeem Jeffries, he endorsed him, but late. But it was just like a lukewarm endorsement. It was pathetic. And the only reason why Chuck Schumer also doesn't want to endorse him, because he's obviously bought and paid for by AIPAC in Israel. He's Jewish, yes, but there's been so many instances where Zalman Mamdani has had to explain himself. He apologized for past comments. He constantly says he's going to work for everybody, even try to keep Jews safe. And the fact that still Chuck Schumer doesn't say anything, won't even acknowledge him or even say who it voted for, it's too much. And we're tired of this corruption, this pathetic excuse. I just can't. And we're tired. We want someone new. So 8 Democrats in the Senate went against him and voted for this bill. And that literally ends the government shutdown. So the 41 days that the country had to go through to get what? Nothing. Pretty much the Republicans got everything they wanted. And it's just like, we're so tired of these Democrats being so weak. Like, what was the whole point of shutting this whole thing down if we didn't get nothing out of it? They want to say that, oh, they promised us a vote in December. Okay, so we're going to go weeks, and not even knowing if it's a secure deal. How many times have the Republicans gone against their word in the past 9 months? Have they even showed any evidence that they were going to be any faithful or truthful to anything? They do what the hell they want now. They have full control of Congress. They have been passing all these ugly bills that raise the debt, fire everybody, letting Trump do whatever the hell he wants. And it's like, you really think we're going to trust their word? Those Democrats should have known better. And now they all said, even Donald Trump said, like, I mean, it seems right now everything's going good and nothing has really changed and the Democrats caved. So everything's fine. Like, what was the whole point of shutting this shit down? Like, it was for nothing. And it's just, that's why we're just so done. Like, we're so done with the Democratic Party right now, at least with the old leadership. Like, we need new representation. And just like with that March bill, after that clean CR, he ended up flip-flopping back in March of 2025, and he ended up saying, this is what he said for the New York Times. He said a shutdown would give Mr. Trump and Mr. Musk permission to destroy vital government services at a significant rate. That obviously had a lot of backlash. And again, Chuck Schumer has been a great leader in the past. You know, he's very well known, obviously, in New York. They voted for him constantly for the past 3 decades. He's been in that seat since 1999. You know, I do give him credit. You know, he does go to every county in New York State. He's the only senator to do so he cares. He focuses on local issues important to New York, like tourism and job creation. He raised over $2 million for Head Start and early Head Start programs, which is, that's something that, you know, universal childcare is kind of like what Mamdani wants to, where for parents that have children trying to make a living in New York City. And then he's pro-gay marriage. You know, he's very well known in New York and people like him. But at the end of the day, after being there for 43 years, he's not meeting the moment. He can't even control his own caucus. 8 people had to go against him. That's not a leader at all. I think he just needs to step down, get someone new. I honestly I love AOC, but I don't think she's the right person right now. We need someone, I don't even know who to even say, like maybe Cory Booker, despite my disagreements with him sometimes, but at least he's younger, he's energetic, he knows how to speak. At the end of the day, like, you can tell, like, every time Chuck Schumer tries to speak, it's all bullshit what comes out of his fucking mouth. And it's just like, we already know he's full of shit. And we're tired. We're just tired of all that stuff. And this whole shutdown has been a complete waste of time. And he needs to go. and people are so done with him. I think he's going to be primaried in a year and a half or so. And I really hope it's somebody that's younger, because these old people, not to be ageist, but they ain't it. You know, we need new representation. And that also comes as Nancy Pelosi, you know, the powerful former Speaker of the House from San Francisco. She just announced that she was going to retire. I think she sees the writing on the wall also. You know, she's 85 years old as a House representative. 85 years old. And now she just now realizes that it's time for new leadership to come in. It's time for new blood. That's the problem with the Democrats. You know, it's like a nursing home in that place. And it doesn't really represent the new generation of people, of leaders coming into the fold, because these people want to keep being stuck in the past. You know, God bless her. You know, she was the first woman Speaker of the House, and she controlled her caucus. That's the thing. You know, she's not like Chuck Schumer right now, where people are going against him. When she was the Speaker, she controlled everybody. Even when they had either a Senate Democratic Party, and then they had a Republican House majority, and she still balanced it out and still got shit done. And, you know, she's finally going to retire. And I want to thank her for her service. But I think it was just too late to even try to amend her legacy. So, yeah. So the government shutdown ends. We get nothing out of it. Yeah, everything goes back to normal. But we still don't get health care. In the meantime, people are going to see higher premiums. Thanks to those Democrats that caved. Nothing really happened. And Chuck Schumer needs to go. So, thanks guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys like and subscribe. If you guys have comments, comment on the comment section, and thanks for watching.